normally try and interact with an audience, but with 800 it becomes really difficult. But I actually think I managed. And that's an amazing feeling to just see that you're making an impact.
Ooh. I'm not sure whether it does excite me anymore, it's just the money.
It does me. The thing that excites me about performing really is the fact that you're doing something good, you're making people laugh.
Except the ones that walk off.
Except the ones that walk off, and, you know.
It's a kind of two-way thing, seeing people enjoy and just connecting with them, you know what I mean? I kind of like that about it, really.
We spent a huge amount of time when we were on the road exercising. We would stay up all night long practicing our handstands. We used to spend hours balancing and tumbling and helping each other learn tricks and use our bicycles, that sort of thing.
I can do nothing like that. I can't even juggle.
Well, can I? I juggle with two things, but not with three.
That's not really juggling, is it?
No, it's chucking stuff up in the air, isn't it?
Yeah.
Apart from doing a bit of stretching, a bit of yoga, trying to get my foot behind my neck and stuff like that, you know, just to kind of loosen the old gizzard areas. Everyone used to get down and do bang out 20, drop and give me 20. So we used to do that. And then all stick our knuckles together like loads of bravado-y kind of, you know, blokey business, and put your knuckles together, you know, things like that, really, yeah.
No, oh my goodness, no way. They're so horrible. They're really frightening, and I think a lot of people are scared of clowns.
If it's badly done, it can be very sad.
Oh, it's totally embarrassing. Yeah, I don't like clowns.
It doesn't work out. You feel pity for them, and that's like so awful.
They don't look like they're happy. You know, the way they're painted smiles and their hair. And I don't like the music, that that horrible roundabout music with, clowns aren't not my...
Slapstick just isn't funny, I don't think. Do you know what I mean? A car falling apart and somebody falling over. It's like...
One of the things we least like about what we do is
working with each other.
Working with each other.
Yeah.
You're constantly having to travel with each other, work with each other, be creative.
Do interviews.
Do everything together.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm one of these that goes to the doctor when it's generally necessary. I mean, I ain't one of these goes for every pill, potion and tablet that there is. You know, if I know what's the matter with me, I mean, I expect the doctor to do something about it. I won't be fobbed off by them.
I'm the kind of person that's sort of a bit of a hypochondriac, and if I get a little sort of nagging pain or something, I automatically think it's something really serious. But then I never go to the doctor, really.
And you never shut up about it either.
I know, it's just kind of like typical bloke, I suppose, where...
It's not.
Should we rave about it now?
Can't do with sputum, and I can't do very much with feet. I can't do anything with anybody's feet. I can't have all I'm doing anything with my own, and sputum really makes my stomach turn over. You know. I don't mind vomit. I mean, I could have had a DVT, couldn't I, laid in bed all that time, but I mean, as I said, they gave me an anticoagulant. Anyway, I'm here to tell the story, so there's people worse off than I am, and I can walk about all right. I had a blood test the other day, but I do not like needles. I don't like needles at all. I look away when I'm having an injection.
I'm fine with injections into any part of my body, but I won't have them in my mouth. And the reason is that I've
always been completely the opposite. I love injections in my mouth.
Really?
I really quite like them. In fact, the more sort of intrusive the dentistry, the better I like it, really.
Well, I'm not keen on dentists now. I was the last in Britain to be gassed.
They didn't use enough gas, did they?
No, I mean, I did come round. But that's when they first started phasing gas out, because they said gas is too dangerous.
I've got a small scar on my forehead where a child threw a brick at me. Well, it seemed like a brick at the time, but... I've got a scar here.
I have no scars whatsoever anywhere. Have I? In fact, you count that as a scar. It's only a little...
Well, it is a scar, yeah.
Well, I don't count it as a scar, so...
Do you not?
No.
I've broken all my toes, I've got a dodgy knee, I've busted both my ankles and bent my feet back round so they're next to my shins, broken my hand and my wrist, my collarbones 3 times, bashed my head, knackered my back. And it's all been worth it. I've had crabs, they were good.
They got out of hand, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
I have a few bad habits. I tend to scratch a lot, and I also, unknowing to me, I tend to pass wind a lot when I'm in public, but that doesn't really worry me, because you've got to pass wind or you might blow up.
What's that mean?
Bad smells.
Yeah, that's natural, isn't it?
Not that much isn't natural.
You've got that many bad habits. I don't know if we've got all evening to discuss them.
I don't think I have I? Hey? What bad habits have I got? Pardon you.
Pardon me.
Yeah, you can't not do it, can you? It's not like biting your nails, which you just do.
You don't have to force it so much.
Don't force it, just...
You do. Like that.
It's not true.
Well, every time you go fishing, you never know what you're going to catch, and every bite you get, it could be something different. I mean, just caught a perch, which is only a little thing, spiky perch. Well, there's been a few times I've fished with one where I haven't had any bites all day. For a couple of times I've been you against the fish, basically. But today's been good, which is very unusual because it's been so cold. But obviously they're hungry.
The thing that excites me about performing is that it's a release of any tensions that you might have inside you. You've got to communicate with the audience, but not to look at them, because you are apart from them, and it will break the illusion. The one I first saw when I was a little kid was called Doodles. Yes, I like the clowns. I like slapstick. If there aren't a few butterflies around in the tummy before you go on stage, you're probably not going to give a good performance. You've got to be keyed up. That's something I hadn't really considered, appearing on television. But if the chance came, yes. Yes, it would be a new dimension.
Yes, I think we've got a lovely beach. The only problem is obviously the sea doesn't come in very often. Usually it's only in twice a day, and it usually seems to be the wrong time of the day for holiday makers. My ideal British holiday, I'd probably like a weekend city break myself, living by the sea.
It's noticeable we don't get cold winters anymore. They're just wet. So we might survive another one.
Describe communication.
What is communication? Go on. Hey, that's a start, Smash. We do speak the language of it.
You've got the easy bit.
Let's do the question again.
I remember the question.
I mean, the only thing that you can say about me is I speak lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots, and sometimes you can see this in the face of the people that are around, that I don't let them speak now.
There's a thing I'm you guys know where everybody's called man, even a woman. If you're talking to a woman, you're going, "Alright, man." I mean, if I'm talking to my mother, I'd say, "Who, man?" But I mean, that's my mother. My mother's not a man. But so doing here, I've said it a couple of times, and it just slipped out. I'll say, if it's a woman or somebody pushes in, they say, "Who, man, who are you pushing?" Say, "I'm not a woman, I'm a man." I say, "Now you're a woman, man."
Would you agree that 80% of communication is non-verbal?
Just thinking about that one.
Well, you were looking at me then and communicating You were frowning a little bit, so you were communicating, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
And I read your face to say that...
Yeah, I guess you could say, 80% is non-verbal.
Yeah. Well, it's 100%, isn't it, if you're a North Sea diver mending oil rigs?
I'm just not biting.
Whisper things and defeats the object.
Do you have like communication issues between you?
No. We just don't talk.
I was wondering what you think about communication.
Communication?
It's a difficult one, that, isn't it?
Sorry?
I say that's a difficult one.
I wasn't listening.
No.
No.
I make noises usually in the place of words.
What kind?
You make up loads of
Just,
baby talk.
yeah, in the middle of things and boodum, things like that. But you
And-
understand, don't you, Bab?
And you say things like, I banged my knee.
Alright.
When you need communication, I mean, it doesn't matter that you don't speak the language or you don't speak because you are blind or you don't hear. I mean, it's something you need to live. You need to communicate. You need to communicate with someone. Something you need. Always there's something you need or something someone needs and needs to communicate with you. So it's something really, it's really important. The communication is something.
So how many chicks have you hatched then, do you think, over the years?
Hundreds and hundreds. Hundreds, haven't we?
And they must be so tiny.
It's amazing.
Well, no, that's huge.
Is
I
it?
was so surprised, yes. I mean, the egg was about so. And it came out huge.
You just collect them,
And once you start, yes, more appears and more you get.
That and my wife and my daughter and I live.
Monica's got 2 children as well, but hers live one at home and one in Reading. I got a son in Reading.
How did you feel when they sort of left the...
Well, he left the nest. He didn't come back, really.
Is that one of yours as well?
Yes.
I've got 3 children, 2 girls and a boy, and then I've got a boy and girl which are twins, and then
I've got twin girls, and they've got
3
grand.
4 each.
4 children each. So I've got 8 grandchildren from my daughters.
And at the minute I've got 3 grandsons, and I'm hoping for a granddaughter soon, I hope.
They just show that they love you. It's like all of them, isn't it? They all got characters and they all show that, well, they rely on you to look after them, obviously. And I only got to say, come on bedtime, and they'll come and they follow me. They go for walks.
Really?
Walk around the fields, walk, they just follow me.
I heard, through the body odor from others, we realize if we are genetically matching or not. And unfortunately, the way nature works is the odor rather than perfume, So the way it is, I'm sorry, I can't change it, so I smell and I like to smell people as well. If I smell you in the street, don't be offended.
I went to an animal rescue charity in a very deprived part of northwest London. And I took one look at her, and something happened. It was one look, absolutely one look.
I didn't really like him actually, to be honest, at the beginning, because I thought it was a bit of a sort of know-it-all.
Oh yeah.
But the way he ate a sandwich, that was it really, and you could see his stomach. So yeah, that's why I quite liked him first of all.
You've got to be confident and optimistic. If you're pessimistic and always on the back foot, I don't think you'd get anywhere. So, a bit of the old cockiness, I think they'll like a bit of that.
I am sexy all the time. Do you know what I mean?
Well, which part of you?
Oh, all of me,
exactly?
of course. That's... So I feel like that when I get out in the mornings. I feel very sexy. Most of the times you're not there, but they're not that. Can't help that, can he? Do you feel sexy?
No, not particularly.
Well, it is early.
Yeah, sure. Of course I'm sexy. I can use my voice. I can tell you I love you. I can whisper this on your ear 100 million times and you will scream for more, more and more. I have a great smile, which you will never find anywhere else in this world.
It sounds corny now, but you used to always get the same chat line I say. You know what it is? You know the best part of your body? It's a bit in between the top of your head and the bottom of your feet. All of you. I say, you're lovely. I said, I've seen some lovely lasses in my time, but I said, but you must have been right ahead of the queue when they were dishing out the good looks. But when I was saying all these things, I had my fingers crossed.
Biggest turn on for me. Lovely bottoms. They must have a nice bottom. I don't know what it is. I'm not too bothered about the front bit, but the bottom bit I do quite like.
I'd never worried about size or shape. I've lived with mongrels for half my life. And suddenly here was I head over heels. In love or what?
It's lovely being in love. It makes you all twinkly and it makes you all happy. And sometimes I can't think straight, do you know what I mean? Because I'm thinking of him.
If you're looking for a disco dancing spring rabbit, then you would find me a bit boring. But if you are the kind of person who likes to sit around and moan a lot, then you could say I'm a very good companion.
No, actually, he's not too bad. He's not that unsavoury a person. I think he's all right.
Thank you.
Because I'm really intolerant.
I'm not that unsavoury a person.
The thing is with you, your mother did everything for you. And then when you come up to me, you're already bloody useless.
Obey, that's what the vicar
No,
said.
I didn't. When we got married, I did not obey.
Obey.
No, I didn't obey.
Obey.
No.
I have lots of trapped air that has to get out somehow. And that's really bad when you're sleeping with someone. And methane gas is lighter than air, so you end up on the ceiling. And so that's why I choose not to sleep with anybody, and that's why I don't have a partner for a long time. It's all not my fault, it's the methane gas fault.
I've got about, wait, let me count. 19 boys fancy me, but I don't fancy them. I actually fancy Roo and he fancies me because you're pretty, that's why. I'm really gonna get in for that.
I used to be very romantic when I was younger. I think everybody who's younger is very romantic, you know. Fall in love, thinking about the partner, doing different things to them in your head.
Romantic? No, not really.
Yeah, you
No,
are. You are. Really, really, really.
Nonsense. No, I don't think so.
I think you are. You're very thoughtful. You are.
You never said that before.
Oh, I'm not on tape then, am I?
Yeah, no, I'm a little bit romantic. I like to
Romanticise.
lavish gifts upon my my wife, and I do like to treat her to things that I know that she likes.
Trip down Tesco's.
Trip down Tesco's.
Yeah.
She loves all that stuff.
What about me?
Are you romantic?
You tell me.
No, you're not.
Aren't I?
No.
I am.
No, you're not.
You're just saying it now.
No, you're not. I'm not.
I am actually.
I do believe in love at first sight, but I'm not saying it does anyone any good. What happens after that? That's as much as I'm saying.
We've got three, you see, but there's one I can never remember her name. She does a lot of riding. I'm trying to think of a flipping name now. Well, let's just call her Rosie for today. Yeah, Rosie. Good old Rosie.
Oh! I pulled a muscle.
What's the neighbourhood like round here, both of you?
Down in the ghetto, that's where the life is so cold.
We don't live in the ghetto. It's an inner city we live in.
It's an urban redevelopment scheme. The council really wants to know.
Urban.
You know what I mean?
Remember, state the word.
I know it's not mine. It's beyond my wildest dreams because it's really upmarket. And I'm not kidding you. I would never have dreamt in a million years when I was in Newcastle. I would be living in a place like this.
It's. What do you mean by that, kind sir?
What do you mean, substance? Substance? What's a substance?
Subsidence.
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 Yeah.
Subsidence.
You're lean.
Yeah, I'm lean. Yeah, I've got a leaning problem. Yeah.
No. You mean if. What do you mean, Dad?
That was built by boys who knew how to build houses in the 1950s, because that's built with brick. See? A lot of these houses you see now, they're just thrown up. This one was built putting one brick on top of the other. I think I'm here permanent now. Absolutely permanent.
Well, it's just nice to know that there's, like, I come here and there's people like Muriel and a few hundred, well, a few.
Yes,
yes,
a few.
And they're all the same. We're all here for the same purpose.
Companionship.
That's it.
Friendship, conversation. We talk about past lives sometimes, future. What we're going to do tonight.
Monday I wait for Thursday, Thursday I wait for Monday.
No, I didn't say that.
No, I know you didn't, but
mine
I
was
do.
I said to one of them, did you have a nice weekend?
I've noticed when you pass people down here and you're smiling, say good morning, you sort of wouldn't do that in Newcastle. In Newcastle they would think you were soft. I mean, you just didn't do that. People just sort of walk past each other and bump into each other. But down here it's just nice and friendly and I like it. I mean... It's great.
Well, you don't know what's around the corner, but I can't be doing with moving again.
Well, the shop's around the corner.
What do you mean, the shop's around the corner?
Well, there's the hairdressers, the shoe shop, the clothes shop,
What's that
and there
got
was a
to-
post office. Well, you said you never know what's round the corner, and I do. I do know what's round the corner.
With the bedroom with a big leak in the roof.
No.
Which we don't know where it's coming from because nobody's bothered to look.
Because I'd like to call myself lucky. But having your house struck by lightning on the first day when you move in seems to me that ain't such a lucky thing.
As I look down, I can see an empty beer keg standing beside a plastic bucket full of don't know what. And looking out further, a melange of undergrowth and rubbish and rocks and bricks and concrete and shoes, and then in the distance the marvellous vista of the motorway. It's like a dream come true.
Well, the difference between cats and dogs. Cats don't wag their tail like a dog, and yes, they do. Sometimes they do. They don't go. Oh no, they don't do that. And they don't sit and go. And they don't fetch balls as well as dogs.
One's got a waggy tail and a cold nose, and the claws are like totally contracted all the time, whereas the other one contract their claws and it's got sharper teeth and pointed ears.
Which one's which?
The cats are the ones with contracted jaws and sharp teeth and the sharp pointed ears.
Excuse me. I think I'm an oddity. I've got a foot in both camps, really, and I appreciate either animal for very different qualities.
I like dogs better than cats, though.
I don't.
They seem to be more friendly somehow. Dogs like greet you, whereas cats just sit, they can sleep for so long. No.
Cats can appear to be lazy, but I don't think they are.
They have big claws, like bears, and they look like bears.
They just sit about all day and get fed and go meow, 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 meow.
I find cats, they claw the carpet a lot. They're a complete nuisance, actually.
Meow, meow, meow.
I think you get more out of a dog in response.
Well, they're more
Like,
interesting, aren't they?
I think they're thicker than cats, personally.
Do you?
I do.
Meow, 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 meow. And I go, shut up.
I used to be a chaser myself, but I mean, it's about what?
It's all about competitiveness, you know what I mean? You see these blokes and like, it's like I said, they've been let off a lead. You know what I mean? Like,
It's
and
like,
then, like,
it's like
it's just more than life, man.
Watching hounds after a hare, you know what I mean? It's just...
I've been bitten by dogs, I've been bitten by cats, I've been bitten by... Oh, you name it, I'll claim it.
Once I was walking past a house and the door suddenly flew open and a dog with a head the size of Albania jumped out, and its teeth were an inch away from my face and its mouth was so big I could have lived inside that mouth quite comfortably, and I was nearly killed.
I've been chased by a Great Dane, a slavering big thing, and it frightened me. I've been bitten by a beagle. I've been chased by an old English sheepdog, which was, I would say that was a springboard into me becoming a Christian.
Mm. You always say dogs come sniffing at your private parts.
Do I?
That's one thing you always say.
Well, they told me they're not, that they're just being affectionate.
Dogs wag their tails to get the smell of their farts away, and the cat just walks around with its tail in the air.
Dogs I like very much because of their great intelligence and loyalty generally, and just so animated and, you know, great chums.
I don't think I've ever had fleas. I think the closest I ever got was scabies, and that was quite bad enough. You would entirely cover your body from head to toe with this alcohol solution. And there was always this sort of nagging doubt that some part of your anatomy would catch light like a fuse, and it would just be an enormous blue puff.
I think the best thing to do is to put on some flea powder, which you get from the vet. But it's probably not a good idea to have a good scratch, because that makes it red and raw and a bit rough and everything.
You know, I've never had any breed that's been a kind of a pampered, you know, pooch. You know,
they breed these mutant dogs, don't they, and give them awards for how mutated they look. And if it's a perfect mutant, it's got a pedigree. But if you crossbreed it with another mutant, it's called a mongrel.
Most pedigree dogs, to get them perfect, they've got things wrong with them. It's either the bull terrier or the bulldog can hardly breathe because they bred into them, that flattened face. It's a bulldog, isn't it? And a lot of the breeds have suffered when they show a cross.
They look ridiculous with silly bowls. Looks stupid.
I'm certainly a loyal companion, but I have to say I've been let down a lot too in my life. I might be very loyal, but I do like my father said before me. He said, you trust everybody once. And that's what I do. I trust everybody once, no matter who they are.
So I'm loyal to the point of disloyalty.
Cats, on the other hand, they are the clever ones. They give humans nothing.
I'm not a cat person. No, they're not loving enough, and they hiss a bit, and they don't do anything. They just wee all over the garden and leave brown stains all over the grass and just make a nuisance of themselves.
I've defecated outside, of course I have. You know what I mean?
If you step in dog mess, then it's not very hygienic, and it's not very it's just not nice.
You kind of get an antennae. The slightest thing, kind of, you know what's going on over there? Sidestep it. And if you can't sidestep it, make sure you come through it.
Because at the end of the day, cats, when they go to the toilet, they clean up and they cover up after them. And that has got to be a sign of higher intelligence.
That's a dirty, filthy business, and that ought to be stopped totally.
I think dogs are more, for a start, I think they smell more. Whereas a cat, you can leave a cat to it. Whereas with a dog...
Yeah, but if you've got a burglar coming in your house, at least a dog makes a noise.
Yeah, but you could throw the cat at the burglar.
That's a silly thing to say. Dogs are more interesting. And that's the end of it.
No, it's not the end of it.
We'll just have to agree to disagree then.